Hey, welcome! Now while I'm still waiting for my Intel Coffee Lake CPU and required motherboard, why not take a look at one hell of an eye-catcher case in the meantime? This is the Azza Inferno 310 coming with rather spectacular RGB lighting, tempered glass and all at a price of roughly $100 currently. However, I'll also be taking a look at these really nice Hurricane RGB fans by Azza too, as they look truly promising to me. A single one of these comes in at about $19. In terms of looks, it's undeniable tempered glass side panels are everywhere now. The majority of people loves those, including myself, so it's a very welcome addition to PC cases. However, with this Inferno 310, it's a case targeted more towards people that prefer a more aggressive design and unique shapes with RGB shining through here and there. This case sure does look nice, although aesthetically speaking, I prefer something more sleek, but that comes down to one's preference, of course. Things that stand out spec-wise here is the fact that mini ITX motherboards are not supported. Doesn't matter at this size. Then a total of 4 SSD mounting points and, since some of you apparently still need one, a 5¼ drive bay. This one's hiding behind this door. The installation is toolless. In total, 3 fans come pre-installed already, with the 2 in the front being RGB fans, Azza's Hurricane RGB fans to be exact. As for liquid cooling, up to a 240 or 280mm radiator fits in the front, and up to a 360 or 280mm one at the top. The I/O is usual, a reset button is missing though, and there could be an HDMI output. Anyway, behind this door, which is held in place by magnets, is the LED control button. So if you don't have a motherboard from 2017 with those fancy RGB headers on board, you can still have some control over your lighting. All these LEDs connect to this RGB controller. However, if you happen to have a more recent motherboard, you could connect everything to your board instead with all those extension connectors. What shocked me a little is the fact that there's no dust filter in the front, despite those rather big mesh vents. That's a no-no for me. There at least are fairly decent removable ones at the top and bottom. As always, a PSU cover with a cutout in it, as well as vents. There also are plenty of cutouts for one's cables, but rubber grommets, no sign. The installation of 3.5-inch drives is toolless, and SSDs are either mounted onto these brackets on the back or right there on the main side on display. As for clearance on the back, there's not a whole lot actually, but cable management should still work out fairly well. Please note the expansion cards screw into place on the outside here, and with specific motherboards and graphics cards, installation and removal could be challenging. Also, except for one expansion slot piece, all need to be broken out like in the old days. Now, to actually be able to showcase the RGB lighting, I installed my test system into this Inferno 310. The installation went well, no issues, and long GPUs obviously fit, no problem at all. As for the LEDs, I left everything the way it was shipped, so everything's controlled from the case's RGB controller. That controller does allow for some RGB customization. Overall, a beautiful and eye-catching case. Everything's looking good, but things that bother me for one is the missing dust filter in the front and the fact that those expansion slot pieces need to be broken out and can't be reused. At $100, a shocker indeed. Still, at a price, you're getting a pretty decent case all in all with 3 fans. Those 2 Hurricane RGB ones even of very high quality. But the Inferno 310 by no means is perfect. Still, I can recommend it, but it's not quite good enough for silver. Therefore, the bronze award will do. But I also wanted to take a look at those Hurricane RGB 120mm fans. The specs look extremely promising. You could definitely even use those fans for radiators. The static pressure is good, and I might go with these fans in my updated main system in the near future. One can really tell these are well-made fans, no flex going on, very robust. Rubber pads to reduce vibration noise, and the RGB looks pretty cool. I connected these fans to my motherboard's RGB header. It's easy to daisy chain thanks to these male RGB connectors for extension. These aren't even loud fans, pretty quiet I'd even say. Actually, when it comes to these Hurricane RGB fans by Azza, I don't know, they pretty much seem perfect to me, which is why I can definitely recommend them. Gold award for sure. And as always, thanks for watching.